Hey everybody, hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Sunday night, we're on day 6 of the 12 days of Gen Hacks. I cannot believe that. It's crazy. It's gone really, really, really fast and been fun. I hope all of you have really enjoyed it. So I'm super happy to be on tonight and share something that really is a fun topic for me, being a daughter of a farmer and rancher and being one of 3 sisters. So lots of fun memories with that. I, as I said, was the oldest of 3 girls, and I love, still to this day, the farm and everything to go with it. And we have our own little tiny farmstead right now, is what we call it, and love the animals. Love the values that you can gain and the work ethic from being on the farm. And so when we were writing devotionals daily, and my husband and I both do write and help each other with the editing and all of those type things, when we were doing that, there was a section of time that I wrote something called Tales from the Farm, Tails. And that was a section of time I also came up with this little Gen Hack tonight. And it's basically 4 little bullet points for girls who need tools. You know, we always see the Black & Decker tool sets for Christmas and the stuff that boys need and want when it comes to that area. And this basically gives us ideas for girls. The girls in the world need tools too. And in fact, the point of what we're going to say here for the Gen Hack for tonight is that girls do have tools. And so I hope that that's going to help you. If you're not a girl, then of course this will apply to your wife, your mom, your sister, your daughter. So it'll really still cover everybody. Okay, so girls need tools too. December 16th, my son's birthday. I think I mentioned that yesterday. Day 6 of Gen Hacks. So first off, the first of 4 tools that girls need and that we do have. Number 1 is laughter. And we can all think of somebody, let's think about Bible stuff. We can all, hello Miss Becky. We can all think of a girl in the Bible that knew how to laugh. And in fact, it's crazy that my friend, Miss Rebecca, just popped on because she is a beautiful example of that. How cool. She is a lady who laughs, and that's one of my favorite things about her. And in the case of my friend, Becky, and in the case of another friend I have, Yvonne, she actually was one of my teachers, so it's very weird to say that, her first name. They both know how to laugh. And I just want to say, just watching them, the laughter that they exude and that they always seem to have ready at the tip of their tongue, I guess, is how you laugh. It attributes to their beauty and how young they look. And I think it is, as Proverbs says, laughter is the best medicine. In fact, you can look up science about that. You can read some of Don Colbert's material. He wrote the book Toxic Emotions. I love that book. You have to get that book, especially if you're a girl. Guys, of course, too, are going to benefit. He talks about what happens when we have toxic emotions in our body, and it's obviously in our soul as well. Our mind, will, and emotions house those type things, and then our body just exhibits some of the symptoms. I guess you could say it's the symptoms of those things actually happening on the inside. And he explains what happens in your physical body from some of those things. So those would be the opposite of laughter, something like bitterness or unforgiveness or fear, anger, those type things. And then he conversely goes into the other side and how, let's say, laughter truly does something beautiful in your physical body. And it's just, that could be a whole entire topic in itself. It's a beautiful thing. There's lots of things you could Google and research on that topic. One of the things I like to do, one of my favorite things to help myself being a laughing state is I am a huge groupie fan. Is that an okay thing to say? Of Tim Hawkins. And my kids have gotten to the point they make fun of me about this. I am actually going to see him in January, and that's going to be a birthday present for me. And I can't wait. I'm just so thrilled. And that's probably the third or fourth time I've gone to see him on my birthday because he usually comes through OKC in January. So all that to say, he is one of my favorite things to watch and listen to if I'm really needing the laugh thing. And if you have children, it's an incredible tool to have in your tool belt. That has happened with the children that we've had, the more that we've had. In fact, I just told this to someone tonight at our little church Christmas cookie thing. We have gotten to the point where certain things that happen in our parenting, especially as our older ones have gotten older and we have the next ones getting older, there's certain things that happen, let's say when they hit the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 area, that, you know, could be concerning and were concerning as we started. And now as we recognize them, we start to laugh. And I don't mean it in a rude way, but, you know, we just start to see things that go, familiar. This is familiar. And it just takes the edge off, you know, the hard parts. So anyway, an incredible tool to have in your tool belt, mamas, okay? Wives, mamas, whoever you are in the female area. Second tool to have in your tool belt is tears, conversely. And we get accused of that, right? The female's always accused of, great, you're going to cry. Oh, well, great, you're emotional. You know, it goes on and on and on. Well, hey, guess what? We were made that way. I'm not talking about, obviously, just giving in to your emotions and just being a boohoo case 100% of the time. I'm talking about the beautiful way we are able to connect to the mind, will, and emotions part of our being. Remember, we are spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. The body is just reflection. It's just a carrier of who we really are. We're walking around in a body, but we're not our body. Our body just holds us, okay? So the mind, will, and emotions are in the soul area. Well, the tears physically show something beautiful happening on the inside in the soul part, in the mind, will, and emotions. So as we're able to cry, as it would make perfect sense, we're able to do what? Release things. We're able to let things go. Crying is healthy. Crying is beautiful. Tears, in my opinion, this is my own little thing, part of this short gen hack. My tears water my prayers, okay? And give them an ability to grow. Take root and grow. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Of course, it would be the same way with the guy. I'm not excluding the guys, but girls, we are able to do this, okay? Why are we able to do this? Well, Genesis says we're the wombed man. That's why God called us the woman, okay? We're the part that reflects the beauty of God in our ability to nurture something, to conceive something, nurture something, grow something, perceive things. All of those special female qualities, they're there for a reason. And that's why we're very in tune with how our emotions play out in our lives. That's why the tears are so, so important. Another woman who wept in the Bible, actually, I'm not talking about the one we formerly mentioned, Sarah, but you can think of Hannah as an example in the tear area. She was a weeping, praying warrior person. A little tongue twister there. She wept before God for her desire for a son. And those tears were a pressure valve releasing. And physically, there's even benefit in that. Especially if you have a household of boys. I see Chelsea just popped on. I have 4 boys myself, and she has 3, I believe. And that just reminded me, my friend Trinity, especially when you have a home full of boys and there's just not a lot of tears, there's not necessarily a lot of emotion. That's not always true with boys. I'll just throw that in. But The tears are the female's ability to just let things go. Okay. One of the things I also love to do is, if you've watched some of my former Gen Hacks, you know about a detox bath. And a detox bath physically is helping your body detox, but tears help your emotional body or your emotional self detox. Okay. Isn't that cool? Makes sense, huh? I love that. And so a lot of times, strangely, when you're in a detox bath, that's kind of a good time for playing some worship music, for praying, for just going over all the things you're thinking about that are on your list. And a lot of times I will, especially if I have worship music on, I will have tears. And so it's kind of like a physical and emotional detox at the same time. You need to try it. Okay. Go back and look at some of my other videos on the detox bath. Okay. The third thing in your tool belt, we're talking about girls need tools too, right? Third thing is obviously just no-brainer, prayer, okay? Women kind of connect spiritually, I think, a little more easily than men do sometimes. They instinctively understand praying. They've birthed children lots of times. Even if you haven't birthed children, you've birthed something, okay? Something that's important to you. You've conceived it, you've nurtured it. A woman connects with what prayer is, even if she's not been taught religiously. I don't mean religious stuff, okay? I don't mean spoken prayers in religion type circles. I mean your own conversation with God. It's almost like that comes naturally. The minute you, especially as I mentioned, when you've had a baby, you instinctively think, oh, God, help me with so-and-so. Oh, well, this and this happened and this is concerning me. And God, as my little 2-year-old sings, I'm casting my cares on you because you care for me. It just seems to come out naturally. When I talk with someone about prayer, it's not a weird thing. It's not it's not a spooky thing. It's this conversation. And what I really love to do at this point, 23 years in on marriage and 13 babies on the children's side, when I'm thinking something, the next thing I do, and you may notice it because I write here, you see my notebook, then I write it down. The kids know when I write something down, it's a big deal to me. And I don't mean put it in my phone. I do put things in my phone, but there's something really powerful about writing. Writing is such a visceral connection with whatever you're doing. If it's a goal or it's a prayer, it's something you're concerned about, I write it down. I put the date on it. And then I say it. I talk about it. And that's kind of my prayer, okay? And that process, wow. It's not perfected, but lots of practice on the spot that I stand right now. I'm about to turn 46. It is a beautiful thing, girls, and it really, really, really helps, okay? I love doing that. Get you a journal so you can do that. Even if it's just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes a day when you first get up, okay? Fourth tool in your tool belt is something that doesn't sound like a girl, but we need it. It's called guts. And that's kind of a messy term, but guess what? We deal with a lot of messy stuff, right? We deal with, again, growing the babies, growing something if it's not a baby, the messiness of having the baby, the postpartum, the nursing, the spit up, the throw up, the poop, all of it. I'm just being gut level here. We need guts for all of that, okay? Because of the stuff we face and the stuff we care about. Lots of times with having children, you understand things that are going on with your children. I'm getting up into the older ones again. You connect with them, you understand them, and you're doing your very best to hold them accountable. And then you might have dad over here, and he's like, well, so-and-so should happen with so-and-so. And you think, well, I'm not sure about that because I've talked with this child and been around this child, and I think this child thinks so-and-so. And you have this thing here where you feel like you understand your child, but yet you understand your husband, see, and you're trying to connect that and be the peacemaker and help the child understand the father and help the father understand the child. Do you girls hear what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's messy and raw and tough, and you got to have guts. You got to have this eye of the tiger mindset about it. These other tools are helping you with that. Your laughter, your tears, your prayers. then your strength comes out. Your mama bear, your I'm fighting for what's mine. Come hell or high water. You've heard me say that a lot. That's one of my favorite phrases. You know, in your mind and your heart, you're thinking, I'm refusing a negative report here in Jesus' name. This is what we are aiming for. This is what I'm praying for. You're constantly battling those thoughts that fly over your head that are scary, that have fear. Don't let them nest in your hair. Okay, all this stuff's going to fly over your head. Don't let it nest in your hair. Okay, these 4 things are all just critical tools for you girls out there. Again, not just for girls, guys can use them too, but laugh. Proverbs 31 says, the Proverbs 31 woman laughed at the days to come because she was confident in what God was about to do. Our tears water our prayers. Prayer, from those tears, write those prayers down and say them and think about them every single day if you can, just a little bit when you start your day. And wrapping that up with number 4, your guts. You've got to have guts, not just the physical guts and taking care of your gut, but your inner gut, your mind, your will, and your emotions all being lined up with, hey, this is what we're going for. This is my prayer. This is where I'm headed. And those tools are going to help us with whatever comes, okay? I hope that I think I've hit about 15 minutes. I went so way over last night. Oh my goodness. I apologize for that. So I hope this is nice and quick for you tonight. This was day 6 of the 12 days of Gen Hacks, and we're close to finishing. We're halfway now, and I will continue every night this week at 9:30 right here, same time, same place, until Saturday night, the 22nd. So I am praying and hoping you will have an amazing week this week. I'm praying that you'll think about your tools and your tool belt, okay? And I am praying that you will have no overwhelm, that you'll just glide through and you'll just say, hey, no sweat, that you'll be able to accomplish much, and that you'll have peace while you're accomplishing it for your loved ones, all those people that you're connecting to, that you care about in the season we're about to celebrate. I hope you have an amazing night, girls and guys. Thanks so much for hopping on, and I will see you here tomorrow night. Thanks again. Love and hugs, guys.